Hello, welcome to the Miser. We just need a quick security checkup.
Yeah, we just got to give you a quick old scan real quick. It's just procedure, nothing to be alarmed about.
His first day on the job, he's a bit nervous.
Give you a quick once over with this here. Oh, you got something in there? Are you hiding any contraband in there?
Could be a flamethrower.
Ladders? Getaway cars? Swords, axes, maces, maybe? Contraband? All right, you're clean then. You can go in. Please, enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show.
There's nothing wrong with you. You're perfect. I love you. Repent. The shop is open. Someone may take you. Let's hide you. No one ever goes over here. Yes, it's good. We'll leave them there. They'll be fine. No, I cannot leave you. I cannot. Not safe. There's no safe place to put you. No safe place. What's finding you? What do I have to bet? Oh, stay! Ah, yes, you will do very well. No, it's been up there, but it's been up there for a while. You'll go there, and we'll go next to it, and you shall go, and you, that's it, all right. Oh. Rockabye babies, honestly talk, must hide you away, so no one can find you.
What, dear Élise? You grow sad after giving me such dear tokens of your love, and I see you sigh in the midst of my joy. Can you regret having made me happy, and do you repent of the engagement which my love has forced you?
No, Valère. I feel carried on by delightful power. I do not regret what I do for you, although, to be honest, I greatly fear the consequences, and I fear I love you more than I should.
What can you possibly fear from the affection you have shown me?
Everything. The anger of my father, the reproaches of my family, the censure of the world, my contribution to climate change, and above all, Valère, a change in your heart. I fear the cruel coldness with which your sex so often replace the two-born proofs of an innocent love.
Alas, do not wrong me. Alas, do not wrong me thus. Do not judge of me by others. Instead, think me capable of everything, Élise. Except of falling short of everything I owe you. I love you too much for that, and my love will be as lasting as my life.
Oh, Valère, all men say the same thing. Only their actions show the difference that exists among them.
But then why not wait for actions if by them alone you can judge the truthfulness of my heart? Do not let an unjust suspicion destroy the happiness which is to me dearer than life, but give me time to show you by 1,000 proofs the sincerity of my affection.
Oh, Valère, how easily are we persuaded by those we love? I believe you. I feel sure that your heart is utterly incapable of deceiving me, that your love is sincere, and that you will ever remain faithful to me. I will no longer doubt that happiness is near. If I grieve, it will only be over the difficulties of our position and the rapidly melting polar ice caps.
But why even this fear?
Scientists have established that the Earth is...
No, I meant the other fear.
Valère, if everyone knew you as I do, I should not have much to fear. My heart knows all your merit, and moreover feels bound to you by deep gratitude. How can I forget that horrible moment when we met for the first time? Your generous courage in risking your own life to save mine from the danger of the waves. Your gentle care afterwards. Your constant attentions and ardent love which neither time nor difficulties can lessen. For me, you neglect your parents and your country. You give up your own position in life to be a servant of my father. How can I ignore all the influence that this has over me? It is more than enough to justify my engagement to you. Although who knows if it is enough to justify it in the hands of others.
You try in vain to find merit in what I have done. It is by my love alone that I trust to deserve you. And I believe our love will transcend everything. Except perhaps for your father and his greed. Forgive me, dear Élise, for speaking. You know that, unfortunately, on this subject, no good can be said of him. However, if I can find my parents, as I fully hope I shall, it will soon be favorable to us. I'm expecting news of them with great impatience, but if none comes, I'll go in search of them myself.
No, Valère, do not leave me. I entreat you, try instead to ingratiate yourself in my father's favor.
You know what skillful maneuvers I have had to use in order to get this job. Under what a mask of sincerity and conformity of the tastes I disguise my feelings to please him. I succeed wonderfully well. And I believe there is no better way to obtain favor with men than to pretend to be of their way of thinking, to fall in with their maxims, to praise their defects, and to applaud all their doings. One need not fear overdo it, for however gross the flattery, the cunning are easily duped. Honesty suffers, I acknowledge, but it is not, after all, the fault of those who flatter, but the fault of those who wish to be flattered.
I will try to gain my brother's goodwill in case he has a servant should betray our secret.
Use the love that exists between you to enlist into our cause. I leave you now, for I see him coming. Speak to him and see how far we can trust him.
Oh, I greatly fear I shall never have the courage to tell him of my secret.
Oh, sister! How glad I am to find you alone, sister, for I have longed to speak with you and tell you a secret.
A secret? I am ready to hear you, brother. What is it you have to tell me?
Many things, sister, all summed up in one word. Love.
You love?
Yes, I love! But before I say more, let me tell you that I know that I depend upon my father, and that the name of son subjects me to his will, and it would be wrong to engage ourselves without the consent of the authors of our being. I know all of this, sister, and I tell to you to spare you the trouble of saying it to me, for my love will not let me listen to anything, so I beg you to spare me your remonstrances.
Have you engaged yourself to her who you love, brother?
No! But I am determined to do so. So I beseech you once more not to bring forth any reason to dissuade me from it.
Am I such a very strange person, brother?
No, but you do not love. You know not the power love has on our hearts. And I dread your wisdom.
Oh, brother, let us not speak of my wisdom. Who knows if I should open my heart to you, then you would find me less wise than you are.
Oh, to heaven, your heart like mine.
But first, let's speak of you, brother. Tell me, whom is it that you love?
A young girl who has lately come to live in our neighborhood and who seems made to inspire love in all who behold her. Nature, my sister, has made nothing more lovely, and I felt another man the moment I saw her. Her name is Marianne. I just met a girl named Marianne who lives with her mom. A good, kind mother who is almost always ill, and for whom the dear girl shows the greatest affection. Everything she undertakes is done in the most charming way. In all her actions there shines a wonderful grace, a winning gentleness, an adorable modesty, and oh, sister, how I wish you had but seen her!
Brother, it is sufficient for me to know that you love her to know what she is.
I have discovered without their knowing it that though they live with the greatest care, they barely have enough to cover their expenses. Can you imagine my sister? No. Can you imagine what joy it must be to improve the conditions of those we love? And what grief it is to be deprived of that joy by the avarice of a father, and for it to be impossible for me to in any way prove my love to her, who is all in all to me.
What sorrow this must be for you, brother.
It is greater, sister, than you can believe. For is there anything more cruel than this mean economy to which we are subjected? What good is having a fortune if it only comes to us when we are not able to enjoy it? In short, I wanted to speak with you, that you might help me sound our father concerning my present feelings. And if I find him opposed, I am determined to go and live elsewhere with this most charming girl, and to make the best of whatever Providence offers us. I am trying everywhere to raise money for this endeavor, and if your circumstances, sister, are like mine, and our father opposes us, let us both leave him and be free from the tyranny in which his hateful avarice has for so long held us.
It is but too true that every day he gives us some more and more reason to regret the death of our mother.
Flèche! What are you doing? Stop running away so I can beat you!
I hear his voice. Let's go a little farther and finish our talk. Afterwards, we will join our forces and make a common attack on his hard, unkind heart.
Get out of here! Get out of here! Slowly! Let me know about your bragging. Now then, be gone out of my house, you swore pickpocket, you veritable gallows bird!
I've never seen anything more wicked than this cursed old man, and I truly believe, if I'm allowed to say so, that he is possessed with the devil.
What are you muttering there between your teeth?
Why do you send me away?
You dare ask my reason, you scoundrel? Out with you this moment before I give you a good
Your son gave me orders to wait for him.
Go wait for him out on the street then. Do not stay in my house. I will not always have before me a spy on all my affairs, a treacherous scamp whose cursed eyes watch all my actions, covet all that I possess, and ferret about every corner to see if there's anything to steal.
How the deuce could anyone steal anything from you? Are you a man likely to be robbed when you put everything under lock and key and mount guard day and night?
I will lock up whenever I think fit, and mount guard wherever I please. I tremble for fear he suspects something of my money. Now, aren't you a fellow to give rise to stories about me having money hid in my house?
You have money hid in your house?
Yes, scoundrel! I did not say that! I am furious! I may ask that out of mischief you do not spread abroad the report that I have some.
What does it matter whether you have money, whether you have not, since it's all the same to us?
You want to argue, do you? Well, I will give you, and quickly too, some few of these arguments about your ears. Get out! I tell you once more.
Very well, I'm going.
No, stop! Are you carrying anything away with you?
What can I possibly carry away?
Come, let me see. Show me your hands.
There they are.
The others.
What others?
Have you anything hidden there?
Look for yourself.
Wait a minute. Ah! These wide-knee breeches make convenient receptacles for stolen goods.
How richly.
Such a man deserves you to feed. And what joy it would be for me to steal some of his. What?
What are you talking of stealing?
I say that you feel about everywhere to see if I have been stealing anything.
And I mean to do so, too.
Plague, take all misers and all miserly ways.
Oh, what did you say?
I said, plague, take all misers and all miserly ways.
What do you mean by that?
Do you think I'm speaking about you?
I think what I think, but I insist upon you telling me to whom you speak when you say that.
Would you prevent me from cursing misers?
No! I want to prevent you from prating and being insolent. Hold your tongue, will you?
Very well. Much against.
Shush! Check everywhere.
Oh! Just look! Another pocket. Are you satisfied?
Come, give her enough of this fuss.
Give you what?
What you have stolen.
I have stolen nothing at all from you.
Are you telling me the truth?
Yes.
Goodbye, then. Now you may go to the devil.
Oh, that's a nice way of dismissing anyone.
I leave it in your conscience, remember. That rascally Valère is a constant vexation for me. And I hate the very sight of him. Really. There's no small anxiety to keep I want a large sum of money. And lucky is the man who has all of his cash well invested. I took that bite yesterday. Oh, you girl. Or stored in a perfectly legal entity that just so happens to be located in the Bahamas. I'm not the least bit deprived of a safe hiding place in the whole of my house. And do not speak to me of your strong boxes. I will never trust them. Why, they're the very thing that thieves set upon. Excuse me. Meanwhile, I hardly know whether I did the right thing by burying in my garden the 10,000 crowns that were paid to me yesterday. 10,000 crowns in gold is a sum sufficiently. Good heavens! I betrayed myself. My warmth has carried me away, and I believe I spoke aloud when reasoning with myself. What do you want?
Nothing, Father.
Then leave me alone.
We've only just come.
Did you hear?
What, Father?
What I was just now saying.
No.
You did, I knew.
I beg your pardon, Father, but we did not.
I see well enough that you overheard a few words. The fact is, I was only talking about the trouble one has nowadays to raise any money. And that he's a fortunate man who has 10,000 crowns in his house. Down here.
We're afraid of coming near you for fear of intrusion.
I'm very glad to tell you this, so that you may not misinterpret things and imagine I said, it was I who has 10,000 crowns.
We do not wish to interfere with your affairs.
That I had them these 10,000 crowns.
I shouldn't think that you
And
don't.
I should not complain as I do now that times are bad.
Hear me, Father. You have nothing to complain of. Everyone knows we're well enough
I felt, in the belief that I am made of gold.
Now, what extravagant expenses do I indulge in?
What? Is there anything more scandalous than the sumptuous attire that you jaunt about the town? If we were to calculate all that you're wearing from head to foot, we should find enough money for you to live upon for the rest of your life. I've told you 100 times, my son, that your manners displease me exceedingly. And for you to always be dressed as you are, you must surely rob me.
Rob you? And how?
How should I know? How else can you find enough money to clothe yourself as you do?
Father, I play, and as I'm very lucky, I spend in clothes all the money I win.
'Tis very wrong. If you are lucky at playing, you must profit by it, and place the money that you win at decent interest so that you may find it again someday. I should like to know. Get out of my way. Without having to mention the rest. What need is there for all the ribbons that you are decked from head to foot?
Oh, you are quite right.
Enough on the subject, let's talk of something else. I believe they're making signs to one another to pick my pocket. What do you mean by those signs?
We were just hesitating who should speak first, for we will have something to tell you.
And I have something to tell you both. Isn't that interesting?
Well, we wanted to speak to you about marriage.
The very thing I wish to speak to you about. My father, what's the meaning of this exclamation? Is it the word uttered, or the thing itself that frightens you?
Well, marriage may frighten us both, depending on how you take it, and our feelings may not coincide with your choice.
A little patience, if you please. You need not be alarmed. I know what is best for the both of you, and you have no reason to complain about anything I intend to do. Now, to begin at the beginning.
A very good place to start.
Now, do you know a certain young person called Marianne who lives not far from here?
Yes, Father.
And you have heard her spoken of. Well, I see. And what do you think of this girl?
She is very charming.
Well, what about her face?
Modest and intelligent.
What about her air, her manner?
Perfect. Undoubtedly.
Do you not think such a girl well deserves to be followed?
Yes, Father.
And that there's every likelihood that she'll make a thrifty and careful wife?
Certainly.
And that a husband may live very happily with her?
I have not the least doubt about that.
There's one little difficulty, I'm afraid. She has not the fortune reasonably.
Oh, that riches, Father, are of little importance when one is sure of marrying a virtuous woman.
If we do not find as much money as we could wish, we may make it up in something else.
That follows as a matter of course.
Well, I must say that I am very much so pleased to find that you entirely agree with me. For her modest manner and her intelligence has won my heart, and I've made up my mind to marry her. Provided I find she has some dowry. What now?
You are resolved, you say, to
marry Marianne.
Who? Who? You!
Yes, I. Oh, what does all this mean?
I feel a sudden dizziness coming up. I must withdraw for a while.
thought of him a certain widow whom I heard of this morning. And you, I shall give to Mr. Anselme.
To Mr. Anselme?
Yes, a staid and prudent man who is not above 50 and whose riches everyone speaks.
Father, I do not wish to marry Mr. Anselme, if you please.
And I, my little girl, my darling, I wish you to marry, if you please.
I am the very humble servant of Mr. Anselme, but with your leave I shall not marry him.
I am your very humble servant, but you will marry him this very evening.
This evening?
This evening.
It cannot be done, Father.
It shall be done, daughter.
You cannot force me to do such a thing.
I will force you, please.
I would rather kill myself than marry such a man.
You will not kill yourself, and you will marry him. What? Did ever anyone hear a daughter speak in such a fashion to her own father?
But did anyone ever see a father marry off his own daughter in such a fashion?
It is a match against which nothing can be said. I'm sure everyone will approve of my choice. Nod, you agree?
And no reasonable person will agree to it.
There's Valère coming. Shall we make him judge in this affair?
Willingly.
You will abide by what he says?
Oh, yes, whatever he says, I will do.
Agreed. But we have chosen to decide who is in the right, my daughter or I.
Why, it is certainly you, sir.
But do you have any idea what you're talking about?
No, but you cannot possibly be wrong. You are reason itself.
I wish to give her tonight for a husband, a man as rich as he is good. And the hussy tells me she scorns to take him. What do you say to that?
What I say to it? What? I say that I am upon the whole of your opinion, and that you cannot but be right. Yet perhaps she is not altogether wrong, and you might consider.
Mr. Anselme is an excellent match. He's a gentleman and a nobleman, too. Of simple habits and extremely well off. He has no children left from his first marriage. We should meet with anyone more suitable.
That is true. Yet she might say that you are going rather fast, and that she ought to have at least a little time to consider.
No! This is an opportunity I was not allowed to slip through my fingers. I find an advantage I should not find elsewhere. And he agrees to take her. Without dowry.
Without dowry. I have nothing more to say. A more convincing reason could not be found. She must yield to that.
It is a considerable.
Undoubtedly. It is true that your daughter might feel that marriage is a more serious affair than you are after, that the entire happiness or misery of your life depends on it, that an engagement which is the last of death on the end of a great consideration.
Without dowry!
That must of course decide everything. Yes. There are certainly people who will tell you that this great disparity of age, of disposition, and of feelings might be the cause of many an unpleasant thing in a married life.
Without dowry! Oh.
Yeah, that must of course decide everything. Yeah, there are certainly people who will tell you that this great disparity of age, of disposition, and of feelings might be the cause of many an unpleasant thing in a married life.
Without
It must be granted there is no reply to that. Who in the world can think otherwise? There are certainly people who will tell you that there are many fathers that would set a higher value on the happiness of their daughter than on the small amount of money that they may have to give for their marriage.
Without dowry! I get to keep it? Excuse me. It's very excited.
That is true. I have nothing more to say. Without doubt. correct means. See, you will pretend to comply with his wishes and succeed much more in the end.
But this marriage, Valère.
We must find some pretext for breaking it off.
What pretext can we find if it is to be concluded tonight?
You must ask to have it delayed, and must feign some illness or other.
They will soon find out the truth that they call in a doctor.
Don't be afraid, trust me. For the right price, we can find a doctor that will diagnose you with whatever you want.
It is nothing. Thank heavens.
In short, flight is the last resource we have left us to avoid all this. And if your love, dear Élise, is as strong as I know. Yes, a daughter is bound to obey her father, and she may not inquire what a husband offered her is like. Yes, and when the most important question, without dowry, presents itself, she must accept anybody that is given her.
Oh, good. That is beautifully said.
I beg your pardon if I carry it too far and take it upon myself to speak to her as I do.
Why, I'm delighted. And I wish you to have her entirely under your control. That's right. You may run away as much as you like, but I give him all the authority over you that heaven has given me. Oh, and I will do all that he tells you to do.
I will follow her, sir, if you will allow me, and I will continue the lecture I was giving her.
Do so, do so. I'm going to make a short stroll into town, and I'll be back presently.
Nothing is more precious in the world than money, and you should thank heaven you have so worthy a man for a father. He knows what life is.
The honest fellow who speaks like an oracle.
How now, you rascal! Where have you been hiding? Did I not tell you specifically to stay right here?
And I came here resolved to wait for you without stirring, but your father, that most ungracious of men, drove me out into the street in spite of myself, and I won't lie, got a good drubbing into the bargain.
How's our affair progressing, huh? Let me tell you, things are worse than ever for us, and I've discovered since I last left you. My own father is my rival!
Your father-in-law.
Yes, so it seems, and I have found it very difficult to hide what I felt at such discovery.
He? Meddling with love? What the deuce is he thinking of? And is love made for people of his build?
It is to punish me for my sins that this passion has entered his head.
But why do you hide your love from him?
So that he may not suspect anything, and that I may rely, if necessary, on some device in order to prevent this marriage. Now, what answer did you receive?
Indeed, sir, we must put up with strange things when, like you, we are forced to negotiate with hustle.
Gah! Then the affair won't come off.
Excuse me? Mr. Simon, the broker who was recommended to us, assures me that your looks alone have won his heart.
Then I shall have the 15,000 francs for which I asked.
Yes, but under certain trifling conditions, which you must accept if you wish the bargain to be concluded.
Did you speak to the man who was to lend the money?
Oh, no. Things are not done in that way. He is still much more anxious than you to remain unknown. His name is not to be divulged by any means, and he is to be presented to you today in a house provided by him, so that he may hear all about your family and your position, and I have not the least doubt that the mere name of your father will grant you what you wish.
And particularly as my mother is dead, and they can't deprive me of my inheritance.
Well, here are some of the conditions which he has himself dictated to our go-between that you must be aware of before anything is begun. Supposing that the lender is satisfied with all his securities and that the borrower is of age and of a family whose property is ample, solid, secure, and free from all encumbrances, there shall be drawn up a good and correct bond before as honest a notary as it is possible to find, and who for this purpose shall be chosen by the lender, because he is more concerned of the two that the bond should be rightly executed.
Well, nothing to say against that.
The lender, not to burden his conscience with the least scruple, does not wish to lend his money at more than 5.5%.
Oh, 5.5%, by Jove, that's honest. we have nothing to complain of.
That's true. But as the said lender has not handed some requirements in order to oblige borrower, he has marked from another at the rate of 25%. His borrower right this first borrower shall pay this into not touch from the first, only to oblige the said lender's forced to borrow.
I'm completely lost.
Okay. But, as the said lender has not enhanced our required, and as in order to oblige the borrower, he is then forced to borrow from another at the rate of 20%. It is but right that the said first borrower shall pay this interest without detriment to the rest. It is 20%. Since it is only to oblige him that the said lender is then forced to borrow, but he's also a borrower. You're a borrower.
The deuce? That's over 25%!
That's exactly what I
Will you read for anything else?
Only a small item. Of the 15,000 francs which are demanded, the lender will only be able to count down 12,000 in hard cash. Instead of the remaining 3,000, the borrower will have to take the shadows, clothing, and jewels contained in the following catalog, and which the said lender has put in all good faith at the lowest possible bid.
What is the meaning of this?
I'll go through the catalog.
Okay.
Firstly, a 4-post bedstead with hangings of Hungarian lace, very elegantly trimmed with olive-colored cloth. Item: a brick furnace with 2 retorts and 3 receivers, very useful to those who have any taste for distilling. Item: an artificially weathered wooden sun with the words "Live, Laugh, Love" scribed in whimsical font.
What does he want me to do with all this?
Wait. Item: 15 spooky spider cider scented Yankee candles. Item: a charming walnut and glass curio cabinet for displaying curiosities. Item: tapestry hangings representing the loves of Chip and Joanna James.
It's gonna drive me crazy with all this!
Exactly. Item: a Bologna lute with nearly all the strings. Item: a game of Mother Goose, most useful to pass the time when one has nothing to do. Item: a lizard skin 3.5 feet in length, stuffed with hay, a pleasing curiosity to hang on the ceiling of a room. The whole of the above-mentioned articles are really worth more than 4,500 francs and are reduced to the value of 1,000 crowns through the considerateness of the lender.
The plague take him with his considerateness. Is he not satisfied with this outrageous interest that he asks? That he must force me to take, instead of the 3,000 francs for which I ask, all the rubbish which he picks up? I shan't get 200 crowns for all of this, and I must bring myself to yield to everything, for he is in a position to force me to accept all of it, and he has me, the villain, with a knife to my throat.
I see you, sir, if you forgive me saying so. Heading down a slippery slope. Taking money in advance, buying dear, selling cheap, cutting your corn while it is still grass.
What would you have me do? It is to this that young men are reduced by the avarice of their fathers, and people are astonished after that, that sons long for their fathers' deaths.
Well, to tell you the truth, he almost gets me by his way of going on to desire of robbing him myself. And I should think that in doing so, I was doing a meritorious action.
Well, give me that memorandum, I'll have another look at it.
You walk slow.
Yes, sir, the young man was greatly in want of money. His affairs forced him to fight him at any cost, and he will submit to all your conditions.
But are you sure this desire run in this case? Do you know the name, the property, or even the family of him whom you speak?
No, I cannot tell you anything for certain, as it was only by mere chance that I was made acquainted with him. But he will tell you everything himself, and his servant has assured me that you will be quite satisfied when you know who he is. Now, all I can tell you is that his family said, okay. All I can tell you is that his family is said to be very wealthy, that he has already lost his mother, and he will pledge you his word, if you insist, that his father will die before 8 months are passed.
That is something. Charity, Mr. Simon, demands of us to gratify people whenever we have it in our power.
Evidently.
Ah, what does this mean? Mr. Simon talking with your father.
Ah, you're in good time, but who told you to come here? It was certainly not I who told them your name and address, but I'm of opinion that there is no great harm done. They are men that can be entrusted, and you can come to some understanding together.
What?
This is the man who wants to borrow the 15,000 francs of which I've spoken to you.
What? Father, is it you who stoop to such shameful deeds?
So, it is you who seek to
Surrounded
enrich
yourself
yourself
by
by
those
words
words
of
only
wisdom
you
you
read.
condemned,
And you dare, after that, to show yourself to the world? Are you not ashamed to dishonor yourself by such dealings of sacrificing
and wrong in your frightful expenses,
sensual
and to
desire
great
beating ground upon ground?
wealth your power to amass
With so much that the most notorious usurers!
Be gone, and do not provoke me to anger. After all, I'm not the least bit vexed at this venture. It'll be a lesson to me to keep a better eye on all this doing. Ah, this is a good part of the play. You'll surely enjoy it. Come in.
Sir.
Wait here. I'll come back and speak to you, I promise. I promise it. I'd better see a little after my money.
The adventure is most comical. Hidden somewhere, he may have a large store of goods of all kinds, for the list did not contain a single item which either of us recognized.
Hello? Is it you, my poor little flesh? You still work here?
Ah, Frosine, it is you! And why has your character just been introduced halfway through the play? What have you come here to do?
What have I come to do? Why, move the plot along, of course, by busying myself about other people's affairs. And making myself useful to the community and profiting as much as I possibly can. Must we not live by our wits in this world? And what other resources have people like me but intrigue and cunning?
Have you then any business with the master of this house?
Yes, I am transacting for him a certain small matter for which he is pretty sure to give me a reward.
He give you a reward. When the 1% pays taxes. Upon my word, you will be fortunate enough if you get one, but I warn you that ready money is very scarce hereabouts.
That may be, but there are certain services which wonderfully touch our feelings.
Your humble servant. But as yet you do not know Harpagon. There is nothing more dry, more barren than his favor and his good grace. And give is a word for which he has a strong dislike. In fact, he never says, I give, but I lend you a good morning.
That's all very well, but I know the art of fleecing men. I have a secret of touching their affections. Finding out their
instruments, I double dog dare you to pry even a penny out of his hands. He loves money more than he loves honor, virtue, and reputation. Oh, but here he comes.
All is as it should be. Frosine, I lend you a good afternoon.
Bless me, how well you look. You are the very picture of health.
Who?
Why, you've never looked so young in your life. I know many a man of 25 who looks much older than you do.
And yet, Frosine, I have passed 80.
Oh, well, you don't mean to make trouble of that, do you? It's the very flower of manhood, the threshold of the prime of life.
True, but 20 years less would do me no harm, I think.
Nonsense, you've no need of that. You are of a build to outlast 100.
Do you really think so?
Oh, decidedly. Here, show me your hand. Sure. Dear me, what a line of life there is.
Where?
Don't you see how far this line goes?
What does it mean?
What does it mean? I said 100, but no, it is 120 I ought to have said.
Is it possible?
I tell you, to kill you before you die, you'll bury your children and your children's children.
So much the better! And what news of our affair?
Oh, do you even have to ask?
Yeah.
I have, especially for matchmaking, a wonderful talent, as I know the ladies very well, and I told them of every particular about you. And I acquainted the mother with your intentions towards Marianne.
What does she say?
She received your proposal with great joy. Anna! And I told her that you wished very much for her daughter to come tonight to attend the marriage of your daughter. She assented at once and entrusted her to me for the purpose.
You see, Frosine, I have obliged myself to give a supper for the wedding tonight. And I would like my little fiancé to share in the feast.
Oh, you are quite right. She's to come this afternoon to pay a visit to your daughter. They'll go for a promenade and return to your house just in time for supper.
That would be very well, yes. What I say? Frosine, have you spoken to the mother about the dowry she can give her daughter? Did you make her understand that under such circumstances she ought to do her utmost to make a great sacrifice? After all, one does not marry a girl without dowry.
Forget a dowry. She is a girl who will make you a clear 12,000 francs a year.
12,000 francs a year?
Yes, to begin with. She has been brought up with the strictest notions of frugality. She is a girl accustomed to live upon oatmeal, ramen, and 7-Eleven hot dogs, and who consequently will require none of the other delicacies that another woman would want. This is no small matter, and may well amount to 3,000 francs a year. Besides this, she only cares for simplicity and neatness. She will have none of those splendid dresses and rich jewels in which girls like her indulge so extravagantly. And this item is worth more than 4,000 francs per annum. Lastly, she has the greatest detestation towards gambling. And this is not very common nowadays among women. Why, I know someone in our neighborhood who lost 20,000 francs this year investing in Dogecoin. So, conservatively, she will save you 5,000 francs a year at play, 4,000 which we count for clothes and jewels makes 9,000, and 3,000 which we count for food. Does that not make your 12,000 francs?
It is a farce to pretend to make up a dowry with all the expenses she will not run into. I cannot give a receipt for what I do not receive, and I must decidedly get something.
Bless me, you will get enough. They have spoken to me of a certain country where they own some property of which you are to be master.
We shall have to see about that. But Frosine, there is one more thing that makes me a little uneasy. She is young, you know. Generally, young people like those who are young like themselves. And I'm afraid a man of my age may not suit her taste.
That's the most incredible part of this match. She has the greatest detestation towards all young and inexperienced men, and saves her affections for the elusive silver fox.
Does she?
Oh, nothing delights her more than to see a fine old man with thick flyaway eyebrows.
Yes.
Oh, she wishes for one 60 years old at least. Why, just 6 months ago at her rehearsal dinner, she suddenly broke off her engagement after learning that her lover was only 56 and didn't respond to the phishing scam email from Amazon.flog.
Only for that.
Oh, yes, she says there's no pleasure with a man of 56 and has a decided affection for those who are technologically challenged.
Well, that is new to me.
Oh, no one can imagine how far she carries this. In her bedroom are a few posters of celebs, and who do you imagine they are?
Well,
Harry Styles, Timothy Chalamet, and Lil Nas X.
well, yes.
Not a bit of it. Fine portraits of Bob Barker, David Attenborough, and Dumbledore.
That is admirable. So you think I am pretty well?
Pretty well, I should think so. You are charming, and your face would make a beautiful picture. Turn around a little, if you please. Oh, you couldn't find anything better anywhere. Let me see you walk. Oh, you have a well-shaped body. Oh, it's free and easy, as it should be.
Tell me, Frosine, has Marianne seen me yet? Has she noticed me as I pass by?
We have had many conversations about you, and I gave her an exact description of your person and didn't fail to make the most of your merit.
Oh, you've done very well. I owe you much gratitude.
I have, sir, a small request to make to you. I'm having trouble paying my student loan bill this month, and penalties for mispayments are severe. Never mind that. She will be delighted to see you, and your antique ruff will produce a wonderful effect on her mind, and your second-hand orthopedic sketchers will make her mad after
You send me into raptures, Frosine.
you. But can you believe that after 3 decades of graduating from a lovely small Christian college on the North Shore, that I'm still just paying off the interest of my student loans? Forgive me. As I was saying about Marianne, joy sparkled in her eyes as I told her of all your good qualities, and she waits with the greatest impatience for the conclusion of this match.
You've done very well, Frosine. I assure you.
If only I could shed the emotional and financial burden that Sally Mae heaps upon me, I too could share equally in the joy of this happy match. Just a small contribution would end this cycle of debt, and I should be grateful to you forever.
She has my hand. I must go. I hear someone calling me. Harpagon. We shall see each other again. Bye-bye. No, back.
He will seize you, you stingy cur, and send you to the devil. The miser has held out against all my attacks, but I shall not drop the pursuit. For men with such great amounts of wealth and such lack of compassion must rely on others if their economics are to ever trickle down.
I must give you instructions tabs off any of it so we can return it all. Belongs to the duty of washing the glasses and pouring the drinks, but only when people are actually thirsty. Wait until you've been asked several times, and remember, always offer water first.
A frugal take on an open bar.
My daughter, she'll look after all that is cleared off the table and see that nothing is wasted.
Me, but I'm fully opposed to circumstances of this unhappy marriage. But I would rather not work at my own wedding.
This task is very becoming to young girls. Isn't the zero-waste lifestyle very in right now?
Yes, Father.
Master Jacques, I have kept you to the last. I've engaged myself, Master Jacques, to give a supper tonight.
Wonderful.
Yes, isn't it? Now tell me, can you give us an upscale supper?
Yes, if you give me plenty of money.
Ah! The deuce! Always money. I think they have nothing else to say except money, money, money. I want an upscale supper at a low-end budget.
An upscale supper at a low-end budget.
Yes, good.
Very well. How many will there be at your table?
8 or 10. But you must only reckon on 8. When there is enough for 8, there is enough for 10.
Very well. Then I would suggest 4 tureens of soup, side dishes, soups, entrees.
What? Do you mean to feed the whole town?
This is an impossible task! Sir, you know I have a certain tenderness for you, and it grieves me every day to hear what is said of you, but perhaps there is a small bit of truth in it.
And I would know from you, Master Jacques, what is it that is said of me?
Yes, certainly, sir, if I was sure that you would not be angry with me.
Never fear.
Excuse me, but I am quite certain that you will be angry with me, even though I am not the one who says these things.
No. On the contrary, I would like to know what people say of me. Go on. I'm listening intently.
Very well, sir. Since you wish it. I shall tell you frankly that you are the laughing stock of everybody, that they taunt us with 1,000 jokes on your behalf and tell stories without end about your stinginess. One says that you have a ready-made quarrel for your servants at Christmas time or whenever they leave you so that you may give them nothing. Another says that you prosecuted a neighbor's cat for hunting on your property without a license. And another says that one night you were caught stealing your horse's oats. You are the butt and jest and byword of everybody, and never does anybody mention you but under the names of miser, stingy, mean, and usurer. And since you, oh my God, since you are the person that I like most in the world, I wish to show them that you are not quite out as greedy as they think you are.
You are a fool!
See, did I not know how it would be? I told you you would be angry if I spoke the truth.
Then learn not to speak! Oh, and you, my young dandy of a son, acquire the kindness of forgiving what happened this morning. Pray, you don't receive Marianne coldly or show her a sour face.
Receive her coldly, and why should I?
Why? We know the ways of children whose fathers marry again, and the looks they give those whom we call stepmothers. But if you wish me to forgive your last offense, I beseech you, above all things, to receive Marianne kindly, and in short, to give her the heartiest welcome you can.
To tell you the truth, Father, I should not like to see her become my stepmother.
Stop doing that. I gotcha.
your looks, I can tell that the fine young man you spoke of earlier to me is still in your thoughts.
Yes, Frosine, I cannot deny it. The respectful visits he has paid at my home have left, I confess, a great impression upon my heart.
But do you know who he is?
No, I do not. Well, all I know is that he is meant to be loved, that if things were left to my choice, I would much rather marry him than any other, and that he adds not a little to the horrible dread I have of the husband they want to force upon me.
Ah, yes, lax bros are very pleasant and talk agreeably enough. But most of them are living on their parents' dime. It is much better for you to marry an old husband, one who will give you plenty of money. I fully acknowledge that the senses somewhat clash with the end I propose, and that there are little inconveniences to be endured with such a husband, but all that won't last. His death, believe me, will soon put you in a position to pick a much better husband, one who is agreeable to all.
Oh, Frosine, what a strange state of things in that, in order to be happy, we must look forward to the death of another.
You are joking. You marry him with the express understanding that he will soon leave you a widow. It must be one of the articles in the marriage contract.
What?
It would be inconsiderate of him not to die within 3 months. Ah, here he is himself.
Dear Frosine, what a face!
Oh, do not be offended, fair one, if I come to you looking at my iPad. I know their beauty is greater to be seen with the naked eye, but still, I would like to get some pictures of you. If I could just figure out how. Frosine, she says nothing and shows no joy at the sight of me.
Young girls are always shy at first and afraid of showing how they feel.
You are quite right. Oh, my darling, there's my daughter who comes to welcome you. Right there.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to leave your DM on red.
Don't even worry about it. I'm so proud of you for getting out with your social.
Thank you.
You see what a great girl she is.
What an unpleasant man.
What does my fair one say?
That she thinks you perfect.
You really do me too much honor, my adorable darling. What a dreadful creature. I really feel too grateful to you for these sentiments.
I can bear it no longer.
There's my son, who also comes to pay his respects to you.
Frosine! Dear Frosine, what a strange meeting. He is the very one of whom I spoke to you.
That is extraordinary.
You're surprised to see that my children could be so old. But don't worry, I shall soon get rid of them both.
Madam, to tell you the truth, I little expected such an event, and my father surprised me more than a little when he told me today of the decision he had come to.
And I can say the same thing. It is an unexpected meeting, and I was far from being prepared for such an event.
Madam, my father cannot make a better choice, and it brings me great joy to have the honor of welcoming you here. At the same time, I should not rejoice if you were to become my stepmother, a title I cannot wish for you to have. If things depended on me, this marriage would never take place.
What a very impudent speech to make. What a confession to make to her.
And as for my answer, if you have any repugnance in seeing me your stepmother, I shall have no less in seeing you my stepson. Do not believe, I beg of you, that it is of my own will that this trouble has come upon you. But unless I am forced to it by authority which I must obey, I give you my word that I will never consent to a marriage which is so painful for you.
She is quite right. A foolish speech deserves a foolish answer. For the ignorance of my son.
I assure you, he has not at all offended me. I am thankful, on the contrary, that he has spoken so openly.
It is very kind of you to excuse him thus. But time will make him wiser, and you will see that his feelings will change.
No, Father, they will never change, and I earnestly beg of you, madam, to believe me.
Again! Change your manners, if you please.
Very well, since you wish me to speak differently, allow me, madam, to take for a moment my father's place. And forgive me if I tell you that I never saw in the world anybody more lovely than you are.
Oh.
And I can think of no happiness greater than that of pleasing you, and to be your husband is a glory, a felicity that I should prefer to the destinies of the greatest princes upon the earth.
Gently, gently, my son, if you please.
These are but complimentary words as I speak to her in your name.
I have a tongue of my own, you know, to explain my feelings, and I should not wish for an advocate such as you.
But I must insist, Father, on helping you, for look here! Have you not yet given her a ring of engagement?
No.
Have you seen, madam, a more brilliant diamond than the one my father has upon his finger?
Well, it certainly does sparkle very much, doesn't it?
You must see it.
Oh, no!
Dear!
It is a beautiful one. It possesses great luster.
Oh, no, his hand's too beautiful. It is a present my father gives to you. Is it not true, Father, that you wish her to keep it for your sake?
What?
A strange question indeed.
Oh, thank you.
He's making signs to me that I am to force you to accept it.
I will not.
I am bursting with rage.
No, I pray, you will offend him.
Pray, please.
Oh, he is perfectly shocked at your refusal.
Traitor!
You see, he is in despair.
You villain!
You are the reason, man, for my father scolding me.
Scoundrel!
You will make him ill. I swear. Hesitate no longer.
Why so much ceremony? Keep the ring since this gentleman wishes you to.
I shall keep it now, sir, in order not to make you angry, and I shall find another opportunity of returning it to you.
Sir, there is a gentleman here that would like to speak to you.
Tell him I'm engaged, and I cannot see him.
He says he has some money to give you.
Pray excuse me. I'll keep this. This argument's mine.
There's no one about us we need be afraid of, and we can speak openly.
Yes, madam, my brother has told me of the great love he has for you, and I know what anxiety and trials such things as these may cause, and I assure you, I have the greatest sympathy for you.
I feel the greatest comfort in my time of trouble to have the sympathy of a person like you. And please entreat me, madam, to ever retain for me a friendship so capable of softening the cruelty of my fate.
You really are both very unfortunate not to have told me of all this before. I certainly might have warded off the blow and not have carried things so far.
Yes, brother, why did you not tell Frosine of all of this before now?
What would you have me do? It's my evil destiny which has compelled all this. But you, fair Marianne, what have you resolved to do?
And what would you have me do? Even if I were for you, to divest myself of the many scruples of which our sex imposes on us, amen? I have too much love and respect for my mother, who has brought me up with great care and tenderness, for me to give her any cause of sorrow. But do all you can with her, just strive to win her. I give you leave to say and do all you wish. And if things depend upon her knowing the true state of my feelings, well, by all means tell me what they are. Indeed, I will do it myself if necessary.
Frosine, dear Frosine, will you not help us?
Indeed, I should like to do so, as heaven has not given me a heart of flint, and I feel but too ready to help when I see young people loving each other in all earnestness and honesty. But what can we do in this case?
Try and think a little.
Advise us.
Simply something to undo what you've done.
You go, girl.
Rather a difficult piece of business. As far as your mother is concerned, we might succeed in convincing her to give to the son the gift she reserved for the father. The most disheartening part of it all, of course, is that your father is your father.
Yes, so it is.
He will bear malice when he sees that he is refused and be in no mood to give consent to your marriage. It seems the only leverage one has in reasoning with that man is money.
You are quite right.
I know I am. For certainly he still loves you, my dear, but he loves money still better. A large sum is what we need. But how in the world are we to set about it?
Oh, wait a moment. It is well known that your father is distrusting of any bank to care for his money. Therefore, he is always squirreling away his wealth in this house. Just yesterday, I noticed a 20-franc note in between the last 2 Kleenex.
Well, we cannot just bribe him away from this marriage with just 20 francs.
Certainly not. We need much more. He recently came home with what must have been a great sum, for he forced us all to wait outside of the house for 8 hours, while he presumably found a clever hiding spot. I am an honest servant, and under normal circumstances, I would never dream of searching for my master's treasures. But his current behavior has made the thought of robbing him seem like the noble thing to do.
Oh, that is very well made up.
And it would be no real theft if the sum is returned after it has secured the freedom of these young beauties. La Flèche, what a clever scheme. Almost as good as one of my own making. You know this house best. Go begin the search and I shall assist to find Maevis. For the time being, you both must continue with the arrangement as is. You must remain calm, so as not to arouse suspicion in the most distrusting of men.
Would depend upon my gratitude, Frosine, if you succeed. But, fair Marianne, let us begin, I beg you, by gaining over your mother. A lot would be accomplished if this marriage were at once broken off.
I will do all I can.
Oh. Ah! My son is kissing the hand of his intended stepmother. But his intended stepmother does not seem very averse to it. Could there be any question in all this?
I hear my father coming. Let us go now.
I shall accompany you.
Yes! They can easily walk themselves, and I want you. All consideration of stepmother aside, what do you think of this lady?
What I think of her.
Yes, what do you think of her figure, her beauty and intelligence?
So-so.
But still.
Oh, to tell you the truth, Father, I did not find her quite as I expected. Her figure is rather awkward, her beauty very middling, and her intelligence, severely lacking. And if I am to have a stepmother, I should like the idea of this one, as well as any other.
So you don't care for her then?
Who? I? Not in the least.
I must say that I'm very sorry for it, for that puts an end to the scheme that had occurred to me. You see, since I've seen her here, I've been thinking of my own age, you know, and I feel people would find me at fault for marrying a girl so young. Right? This consideration has made me determined to abandon the project, but as I had given her my promise and demanded her in marriage, I would have given her to you if it were not for the dislike you have for her.
To me?
To you.
In marriage?
In marriage.
Oh, well, it is true she is not at all to my taste, Father, but to please you, I can bring myself to marry her, if you please.
No. A marriage cannot be happy when there is no love.
Go, Father! That will come by and by, and is it not said that love is often the fruit of marriage?
No, it's not right to risk it. If you felt any inclination for this girl, you should have married her instead of me. But as it is, I'll return to my first intention and marry her myself.
Well, Father, since things are so, I better be frank with you.
Oh, please.
I have loved her ever since I saw her one day on the promenade. And I wanted to tell you today to let me marry her, and I was only deterred when you spoke to marrying her yourself. here now.
Have you told her of your love and your intention of marrying her?
Certainly, I even spoke to the mother a little on the subject.
Does the daughter return your love?
Well, if appearances can be believed, she's certainly well disposed towards me.
I'm very glad to find out this is secret. Now, my son, you will have, if you please, to get rid of your feelings for Marianne, to cease to pay attention to papers that I have intended for myself, and to marry very soon the wife I have chosen for you.
So far, it is thus you have deceived me. Very well. Since things are come to such a pass, I openly declare that I shall not give up my love for Marianne.
What, rascal? You dare to trespass on my property?
Oh, Father! A woman is not an object for us to possess. And besides, it is you who trespass on my property. I saw her first.
Am I not your father? Do you not owe me some respect?
There are things in which children are called to pay deference to their fathers, and love is no respecter of lineage!
Ooh, my fists will make you know me better!
Oh, your threatenings are nothing to me.
This is your last chance. You will give up Marianne?
I give her up?
Yes.
Certainly not! On the contrary, I am more determined than ever to have her!
Watch out, boy. These cobras are ready to bite.
I can outrun you right through this table!
I'm not too old to super kick you in the face.
Get ready for a body slam!
I'm gonna take you to Suplex City.
The paradise! Yeah!
Don't make me pick your boy, you son.
Hurricane and ready you! Run up this table!
Oh, gentlemen, what are you doing? What are you thinking of?
I'm gonna hit you with the elbow.
I can hit you with the woodwick go!
Here comes the mandible claw.
Here comes my jackhammer!
I'm gonna hit you with the springboard. Moonsault.
Only you can survive! Yeah! My Superman! Punch!
Acknowledge me as the head of this table.
I came out of nowhere!
Oh, sir, you're just in the nick of time.
Follow me. It's just I'm afraid we are safe. Wow! You brought this church, I've got to hold up.
Captain Fox, how did you manage?
I'll tell you all about it. Now let's be off right here and call it out.
Thieves, assassins, murder, justice, just heavens! I am undone. I am murdered. They have cut my throat. They have stolen my money. What shall I do to find him? Where shall I run? Where shall I not run? You. There. Not you. You're fine. You. Yes. Are you hiding my money? I know you have it. Give it back. It's in here somewhere. I know it. Maybe in here. No, it's here. Alas, my poor money, my poor money. My dearest friend, they bereaved me of thee. Without thee, it's impossible for me to live. I can bear it no longer. I am dying. I am dead. I am buried. Whoever has committed this crime was once careful for his opportunity and chosen the precise moment I was speaking to my miscreant of a son. I'm a scout. I was a man of justice, and not the whole of my house was to torture. My maids, my valets, my son, my daughter, and myself, too. Everyone seems to be my thief. There is no one who does not arouse suspicion in me. What are you talking up there? Of him who stole my money? For pity's sake, if you know anything of my thief, I beseech you to tell me! Is he hiding there among you? Feet! Lift up your feet, I see! Feet, 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 feet! They all look at me and laugh. Yes, they all look at you and laugh. We shall see, won't we, that they all have a share in this crime. Quick, magistrates, police, provosts, judges, and executioners. I will hang everybody. And if I do not find my money, I shall crawl into my grave with only my grief beside me.
Officer Gopo here to investigate a robbery.
Get in the sleeve, you dang arm of it! Come in, all of you. All of you can, 5 can fit there, 10 in here, 5 there. You're good. Just you. Where are the rest of them?
Leave everything to me. I know my business. This is the first time I've been employed to find out criminals, and I wish I had a bag of Franks for every candle I've had to confiscate.
Agreed. Magistrate must take this matter in hand. And if I do not find my money, I shall call justice upon justice itself.
We will take all needful steps now. You see that in the casket there was?
10,000 crowns. Cash. It's not that hard to write down. 10,000 crowns.
In a casket.
In a casket.
Considerable
A
theft.
considerable theft. There is no punishment great enough for the enormity of the crime.
Whom do you suspect of this robbery?
I shall take into your custody my entire household, all my neighbors, and this whole lot.
Now, you must not, if you trust me, frighten anybody, but must use gentle means to collect evidence in order afterwards to proceed with more rigor for the recovery of the stolen self. I just went through a legally mandated training and with a fantastic new technique called de-escalating a situation.
I am coming back. Have his throat cut at once, have his feet singed, put him in boiling water, and hang him from the ceiling.
Who? I! You stole my money!
I was speaking of a suckling pig your steward has sent me.
Question. You must speak of something else to this gentleman.
No, don't get frightened. I'm not a man to cause any scandal, but a man to be carried on like gentle means. Please take a seat. Would you like any water? Hot? Cold? Holy?
Is this gentleman coming to supper with me?
That's not the question.
If I do not give as good a fare as I should like, it is the fault of your frugality, which has clipped my wings with the scissors of your economy.
You rascal! We have other matters to talk about than your supper, and you must confess to what has happened to the money that has been stolen from me!
Some money has been stolen from you?
Yes, you rascal! And I'll have you hanged if you do not give it me back again.
Pray, don't be so hard on him. Remember, de-escalate, not hyperventilate. Yes, my friend, if you confess, no harm will come to you, and you will be greatly rewarded by our master. Some money has been stolen from him, and it is possible you know something about it.
I wish I had taken that money. In truth, I have no idea where it is, but I fear my master will have my head no matter what I plead.
What are you muttering about?
interrogating to me. He's preparing himself to confess. My gut tells me he's an honest fellow.
Scoundrel! If you decide to ruin my life, I shall ruin yours. I know you have my money.
Now, all together, feeling angry, don't lose your shirt. Take a deep breath before someone gets hurt.
He's trying to come up with an alibi and doesn't have one.
Out with it!
Sir, since you want me to confess, I believe it was your steward who has done this.
Valère?
Yes,
Him who seems so faithful to me.
the very one.
And what makes you believe it?
I believe it because I believe it.
Solved! Lock him up! Lock him up!
But you must tell us the proofs you have.
Proofs?
Did you see him hanging about the place where I put my money?
Yes. Where exactly did you put your money?
In the garden!
Exactly. I saw him loitering about in the garden next to
A casket!
a casket. The very thing. He was next to a casket.
And this casket, can you describe it?
Describe it.
In as much detail as you can.
Well, it was a casket. Very large.
Dust! Mine was small.
Large for a child-sized casket.
Checks out.
And what color was it?
What color?
Yes.
Of a color. Of a certain hard to distinguish color. What would you say it is?
That is a tough question. I would a grayish brown.
Brown. Yes, exactly. That's it.
There is no doubt about it. Valère is the filthy thief. Lock him up! Lock him up!
Whoa! There he is now. Sir, I pray that you do not tell him it's me that let it all out.
Come here. The most abominable action, the most horrible crime ever to be committed.
What do you want, sir?
You do not blush for shame after such a crime?
What crime do you speak?
Basically, as if you do not know what I am talking about. The thing is discovered, and I just got all the particulars from my servant here. I welcome you into my home as a trusted employee, and instead of your gratitude, you play upon me the most abominable trick.
Sir, since everything is known to you, I will neither deny what I have done, nor will I try to palliate it.
Oh! Have I somehow guessed the truth?
I intended to speak to you about it, and I was watching for a favorable opportunity. But as this is no longer possible, I only ask that you not be angry, and that you listen to hear my motives.
And pray, what fine motives could you possibly give me, infamous thief?
Sir, when you have heard all I have to say, you will see that the harm is not so great as you make it out to be.
The harm is so great as I make it out to be? What? To take from my heart's greatest joy?
Your heart's treasure, sir, will not be sullied, and my rank is high enough to not disgrace it. I will restore any damage that is done to your good name.
It is indeed my intention that you will restore what you have taken from me.
Your heart's honor, sir, will not be sullied.
Honor is not the question in all this. Pray, what made you commit such a deed?
A God, sir, who carries with him his excuses for all he makes people do. Love.
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 Love?
Love.
Oh, fine love that. Fine love indeed, the love of my gold.
No, sir, it is not your wealth that has tempted me. I will not ask of any of your possessions, provided you leave me what I have.
In the name of all the devils, no! I shall not leave it to you. But did ever anyone meet with such villainy? He means to keep what he has robbed me of.
You call that a robbery?
What can I call it? A treasure like that?
I readily acknowledge that it is a treasure, and the most precious one you have, and it will not be losing it to leave it to me. I beg of you, on my knees, to entrust this treasure.
Excuse me, sir, can you see Valère? No, I didn't think so. Move up to who did the blocking for this scene?
On my knees to entrust this treasure so
driving at.
We have pledged our faith to each other and have promised to save ourselves for marriage.
The oath is admirable, but the promise strange. You must be devilishly bewitched by my money.
No, sir, I have already told you. It is not my own self-interest which has prompted me to do what I have done. A nobler motive has inspired me.
We shall see that it is out of Christian charity that he covets my money. I'm Valère. I stole the money to support Doctors Without Borders, so I'm actually the good guy. The justice system will see right through that Robin Hood act and you will rot in prison.
I am prepared to suffer whatever violence you care to inflict upon me. But I beg of you to believe that I am the only one guilty and that your daughter has done nothing wrong in all of this.
I should think not. It'd be strange indeed if my daughter had a share in this crime. But the treasure will soon be returned to me, and you must confess the place that you have carried it off.
I have not carried it off. It is still in your house.
Heavens be praised! It is not left my house.
No, sir.
Tell me, have you taken liberty?
Heavens, no! At times I have been tempted. But I have maintained an open door policy, always kept door on the floor, and this purity ring is not just for show.
I never thought I'd be the one to say this, but he has a very unhealthy relationship with money.
The Flèche knows the whole truth, and he can bear witness to it.
Oh, my servant is an accomplice in this affair?
Yes, he was the witness at our engagement, and it was he who helped me engage your daughter to me.
What rubbish are you talking about, my daughter?
It was only yesterday she could agree to sign our mutual promise of marriage.
My daughter has signed a promise of marriage.
Yes, yes, sir, and I have also signed.
Heaven, another misfortune.
Right, sir, right.
Aggravation of misery, access of despair. Charge him, sir. Write me up an indictment against this man as a thief and a kidnapper.
These are names which I do not deserve. Plus, you don't know who I really am.
Tell us! Who?
Guilty daughter, unworthy of a father like me. Give your love to an infamous thief and engage yourself to him without my consent. But you will both be disappointed. I will have you broken alive on a wheel, your bodies dumped into a ravine. Oh, excuse me. And if Netflix makes a true crime series on your life, I will be the executive producer!
My father, be more merciful, I beseech you, and do not let your paternal authorities drive matters to the extremes. He is not what you would imagine, and you will find it less strange that I should have given myself to him, when you know that without him you would have lost me long ago. Yes, Father, it is him who saved me from the great danger in the waves, and to whom you owe the life of the very daughter who...
All this is nothing. It would have been better for me if he had let you drown rather than what he has done.
What a perplexing state of affairs.
Sacre! It was your Anselme!
What could have happened to Mr. Harpagon? You look very upset.
Mr. Anselme, you see before you the most unfortunate of men, and you cannot imagine what vexation and disorder that is connected to the contract you have come here to sign. I am attacked, and you see there before you a scoundrel and a wretch who has introduced himself into my home as a servant to steal my money and seduce my daughter.
I don't want your money!
Yes, they've given each other a promise of marriage. This insult concerns you, Mr. Anselme, for it is my daughter, your betrothed, he is threatened to carry off.
It is not my intention to force anybody to marry me and to lay claim to a heart which has already bestowed itself. As far as your... Come on, begin.
Thank you.
As far as your interests are concerned, I am ready to support your wishes.
Oh, thank you.
Sir, you might think that, compared to this gentleman, a servant is in no position to win your daughter's hand. But you don't know who I really am.
I don't give a pin of who you say you are. The world is full nowadays of pretenders to nobility, imposters who brag about their daughters' water polo skills to get into Stamford.
No, Valère is not my true name, and all Naples can bear witness to my birth.
Softly! Take care of what you are about to say. You speak before a man to whom all Naples is known, and who can soon see if your story is true.
Yeah.
I am not the man to fear anything. And if all Naples is known to you, you will surely recognize the name Cannoli data Bertucci, son of Don Spaghetti data Bertucci.
Dare to call yourself the son of Don Spaghetti data Bertucci?
Yes, I dare do so, and I will maintain that truth against anyone.
This audacity is marvelous.
Yeah.
It is now at least 16 years ago since the man of whom you speak died in a shipwreck with his wife and children, when he was trying to save their lives from the cruel persecutions which accompanied their troubles at Naples.
Yes. But what you don't know is that that son, 7 years of age, was, with a servant, saved from the wreck by a Spanish vessel. And that son is he who speaks to you now. The captain, touched with compassion at my misfortune, loved me. He brought me up as his own son, but lately I had heard that my actual father was not dead as I thought he was. Then passing along this way to go and find him, an accident arranged by heaven itself brought to my sight the charming Élise. And the sight of her made me a slave to her beauty. The intensity of my love and the harshness of her father made me take up the resolution to come into his house disguised as a servant and send someone else to look after my parents.
But what other proofs have you besides your own word that all this is not merely a fable based by your one truth?
What proofs? The captain of the Spanish vessel, this macaroni necklace my mother put around my neck before we were separated, and old Pedro, the servant that was saved with me from the wind.
I can answer here for what you say, that you do not deceive us. And all you say clearly tells me that you honor my brother. Marianne, Tata Bertucci is my given name. My heart was touched as soon as he began to speak. And that mother, Mamma Mia, Tata Bertucci, often told me of the misfortunes of my father. Heaven spare us also when I my mother and I would wash upon a shore of a deserted island with nothing to live on except for what we could find in a bunch of abandoned FedEx packages. Wretches his fast, and we would have lost our sanity if it were not for befriending a volleyball named Wilson. Wilson, I'm sorry! A series of lucky events brought a merchant ship our way, and we traveled back to Naples only to find Helen Hahn still living at our home, and after a brief exchange of words, it was clear she had moved on.
How wonderful are my doings! Come to my arms, my children, and share the joy of
You were her father?
It was for you I'd rather wept?
Yes, my daughter, yes, my son! I am Don Spaghetti Tata Bertucci. Who heaven saved from the waves with all the money he had with him, and who after 16 years, believing you all dead, was preparing after long journeys to seek the consolations of a new family in marrying a gentle and virtuous woman. I settled here under the name of Anselme and wish to forget the heavy burdens of a name associated with so many great troubles.
He's your son.
Yep.
This news has shocked the eyebrows off my face. That being said, I mean, you're responsible for your eyebrows and the 10,000 crowns you stolen from me.
You stole 10,000 crowns?
Yeah. Who says that? Master Jacques.
You say that? You can see that I am not saying anything.
He certainly did. And there's an officer who took down his disposition.
Can you really believe me capable of such a base action?
Capable or not capable, I must find my money!
Do not grieve for your money, father, nor accuse anyone. I have news of it, and I'm here to tell you that you will see your money again if you consent to let me marry Marianne. What? Marianne. Marianne?
Where is it?
Do not concern yourself with such things. It is in a safe place, and I answer for it. Everything now depends on your resolve. It is for you to decide whether you want to lose Marianne or your cash box.
Has anything been taken out of it?
Nothing at all. Is it your intention to agree to this marriage and join your consent to that of her mother, who leaves her at liberty to do as she likes?
Ha! But you don't know that this consent is no longer sufficient. And that heaven has given me back a brother. Mwah. And that heaven has given me back a father. Mwah. And now you have to obtain it from him.
Oh, heaven, my dear child, be a bambina. Are we not living in 2021? These days, a woman can choose whomever she likes as a life partner. Mr. Harpagon, surely you are aware that now, especially after Brindley's stunning testimony, conservatorships are very passé. Do not force people to be unhappy and celebrate with me this double marriage.
For me to be well advised, I must see my casket.
You shall see it safe and sound.
I have no money to give my children in marriage.
Never mind, I have some. Do not let this trouble you.
Do you mean to take upon yourself the expenses of these two weddings?
Yes, I take this responsibility upon myself. Are you satisfied?
Yes. Provided you buy me some new eyebrows and a new suit of clothes for the wedding.
Agreed.
Ah, yes.
Can I cook? Can I cook an upscale supper at a high-end budget?
I have the student loan bill.
I'm taking donations to the Clean Air Act.
I'd like a signpost from Glenn's effort.
Happy to help.
And Hugh in the audience wants his money back. Something about the show being way too long.
Now, let us all acknowledge that everyone has a right to his opinion, even if it is wrong. Now come with me and let us all enjoy the blessings this happy day brings us.
Joe. For real? Tell them, don't you know?
If I was a rich girl, say I'd have all the money in the world. If I was a wealthy girl, no man could test me. He impressed me, Jake to hurry him as a leg.
Oh gosh.
'Cause I'd have all the money in the world. You can taste this wealthy girl.
What kind of rich got a million rich? Them a kind of rich where you make man switch. What kind of rich got a million rich? Them a kind of rich where you make man switch. And if me rich, would I take a man now for the streets? And if me rich, would I build up a school and teach? And if me rich, things would I run neatly. And if me rich, could I live out my life properly?
Say if I was a rich girl.
Sir, I make you responsible for the 10,000 crowns he has stolen from me.
He stole 10,000 crowns!
Master Jacques!
You say that? You can see that I am not saying anything.
He certainly did. And there's an officer who took down his disposition.
You really believe me capable of such a base action?
Capable or not capable? I was